Hey guys, this is Comic Uno, and today I'm doing a review for Adventures of Supergirl Chapter 2. So, I actually got a lot of well-received comments about Adventures of Supergirl Chapter 1's review, so I decided to continue to keep doing these digital reviews, because as you guys know, I'm a huge Supergirl fan of the character, the actual comic book character, and of course the television show. So, I decided to do these chapter reviews, like I said, and these comics come out about every 2 weeks, so I actually thought it was weekly, but I'm kind of glad that you do get that little gap. So every 2 weeks the comic comes out on Monday, not Wednesday, Monday, same day as the actual Supergirl television show. So let's get started and start talking about this issue. So we had a big cliffhanger in last issue where Alex's helicopter is falling into the water. And now it's up to Supergirl to save the day, of course, and save her sister. So most of the issues about really playing with physics and learning more about physics, and I guess a little bit of Kryptonian physics, and seeing how you can save Alex from the helicopter going down and destroying Alex and her team. And Supergirl's able to obviously save the day, and the rest of the issue is trying to figure out where Rampage is and exactly who is Rampage. And we learn that Rampage actually has a vendetta against Alex because of one of her first missions. So now we see Kara and Alex going into the sewer trying to find Rampage, and of course Rampage finds them, and Alex is thrown into the sewer, and you're like, oh my god, Alex, are you alive? Of course you're alive. And she's totally badass. She gets out of the sewer, and she's like, I'm ready, let's do this. So that's pretty much the whole issue. What did I think? This is a really fun issue, and of course you could tell it's very much a continuation of Chapter 1. It's not a standalone story, which I'm glad about. I'm sure we will see some more standalone stories as the chapters go on. I don't think all the chapters are going to be about Rampage, but these two chapters were very heavy on Supergirl, but this one definitely mentions a little bit more about Kara and her life. You even have a bit of a cameo from Wynn in this issue. But again, my favorite part about this book, exactly what I liked about Chapter 1, is the narration. I really like getting into Kara's head, where you don't really get to see that as often in the television show, because obviously you have the different mediums of comics and the show, and I think this comic does a really good job at utilizing what comics are meant to do, and that's obviously having those narrations, even kind of the small details of Kara being in the sewer and she's like, well, I just kind of bought these boots and it cost a lot, so I'm gonna kind of fly and walk with you, Alex. In a show they probably wouldn't do that because budget. You're probably not gonna fly for a good amount of the show. You're gonna save that for the big battle. So I thought even those small details were really nice in the comic. But yeah, going back to the narration, which I love. In Chapter 1, what I really liked about the book was the narration about Kara being in high school, and Sterling Gates does that again in this book, where he mentions Kara being in 9th grade and totally not understanding physics, and obviously that pertains and parallels to the situation of what's going on with Kara now. It's like, well, I kind of need to know physics to figure out how to save my sister. And she does that towards the end of the issue also. And you never really think about it, but Superman / Supergirl and anyone who can fly in comics really does have a lot to do with physics. And I really liked that mention here. And I honestly hope we get a whole arc about Supergirl in high school, either in the show or in the comic, because I love these references of Kara being a fish out of water and like getting used to Earth life. And obviously she's already pretty much adjusted in her mid-20s now that she's in the show and now that she's Supergirl, but I think it could have been nice to see like what her life was in high school, what her relationship with her sister was like, and you get little nods of that throughout this issue of definitely the sisterly relationship. That's a huge theme in this issue, seeing how even the small little details where Supergirl is just like looking at Alex, and then Alex is like, why are you looking at me? You're doing that thing that you used to do, and it's like something's up. So I really like their bond. Obviously, it's something I enjoy with the television show, but it's even heightened in this comic. And you could tell, obviously, that Sterling Gates is a big fan of the show and really shows who Supergirl is from the comic books, but also really delves into who Supergirl is in the television show. So once again, really enjoyed this comic, and I even like the one-shot villain of Rampage, connecting it to Alex and making that story a bit more interesting. Now I will say this issue doesn't have as big of a cliffhanger as issue 1 or chapter 1, but it's still really interesting cliffhanger. And if you want even more, I guess, exploration with Alex, this is really the chapter to read. And I hope in the future issues we get to see a little bit more of Kara's life. These 2 issues are very much about Supergirl, but it'd be interesting to see a little bit more of secret identity stuff and who else can show up. Like Cat Grant. Come on, I need some Cat Grant in my life in this comic and see how she acts. So, really good chapter. Of course, I'll be reviewing chapter 3 in 2 weeks when that is released, and hopefully you guys are enjoying these reviews. So this is Comic Uno. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. Don't forget to like my Facebook page. Also, description below, there's links from my comic book, Like Father, Like Daughter, and don't forget to like the Facebook page of Like Father, Like Daughter. I'll see you guys later. Bye.